I had a request to show the solution from section 2.4, number 54. And so let's do that. So here's the picture that's drawn. It talks about an angle of elevation from the top of a small building to the top of a nearby water tower is 46 degrees 40 minutes, and the angle of depression to the bottom is 14 degrees 10 minutes. If the shorter building is 28, I haven't gotten that in there, meters high, find the height of the taller building. No problem. Well, we absolutely know already that this is 28 right here. So the question really is, they want to know the full height of this building, right? Let's suppose this is the top, right? They want to know this distance right here that they have marked out. But if it's 28 from the building is 28, then this is 28. So I really ultimately need to find this value right here. I'll call it h for height, for lack of a better thing. So I'm going to make that stand out a little bit more. This is what I need to find. Now what h is, it is, let me come in here and put it in red. I need this. Ultimately, if I could tell what that is right there, now keep in mind this goes all the way up, sorry, I got a little bit high, but I need to know to the height, that height of the building. Then x is going to be equal to that h plus the 28 that I already knew. Okay, let's do it. I need to be able to get that h. Well, I got right triangles all over the place. The problem is that I don't know anything other than one of the angles in this right triangle. I'm going to need to know a side. It's not going to be solved without that, so I got to go after a side. So I don't know what they're going to do in the book, but let's take a look at being able to figure out maybe this side right here. So let me put this in blue. So the first thing that we're going to do is, let's see if we can find this side right here. I thought I might have to use all three angles or three triangles, but I don't. We can totally get that blue side right there. Now how can I get it? I'm going to get it using this triangle right here. Let me highlight it in blue. Oops, that's not a highlighter. Highlight it in blue. Sorry, it gets so big in there. I want this middle triangle right there. I wish it wasn't so broad stroked. Actually, I may be able to fix that. Let's come in here and grab this guy, make it blue, and oh yeah, it's set to be really fat. So yeah, I want this triangle right here. That's the one I'm focused on. I want to get that top blue side of it. No problem. What do I know? I know an angle in that triangle, and I know the opposite side, and I want the adjacent side. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So tangent of 14 degrees 10 minutes needs to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, and so why don't I call that side A? That's along the top there, just so for the word adjacent. Perfect. So that's what I know A is equal. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve for A, although thinking about it, I could really leave everything and so that it's all just solved in one swoop, but let me just solve for A. A is equal to 28 all over the tangent of 14 degrees 10 minutes. Now, I apologize. Somebody made the comment that I skip a lot of steps. I skip the steps, I think, that are self-explanatory, and I do it for a certain reason. If somebody's not catching them, then they really need to, it'd be actually better for them to figure out where that came from. But essentially all that happened is I multiplied both sides by A. Realizing that I wanted to solve by A, I would have to divide by the tangent of 14 degrees 10 minutes. And so I can start to do that, although I think it devalues the explanation because it takes away individual thought. It's way better for somebody to say, where'd that come from, and figure it out, as opposed to having somebody step them through and step them through and step them through. Then they make comments like, well, I never really saw a problem like that. You did, you just didn't have the opportunity to solve it on your own. Because you let somebody take that away from you. So let's see what that is. What is 28 divided by the tangent of 14 plus 10 divided by 60? It's 110.6 .9262493. I'm just going to keep the whole thing, right? You can say 111, should be pretty close. But now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to stay focused. Remember what we wanted to do. We wanted to find h. Well, we have a triangle that involves h that's a right triangle. And the opposite and adjacent are known, or at least one of them is known and the other one we want to find. So the tangent of 46 degrees 40 minutes needs to be equal to this h that we want to find over this 110.9262493 number. So what's h equal to? No problem. H is equal to the 110.9262493 times the tangent of 46 degrees 40 minutes. Let's see what that number is. So I'm going to take this number that's already in my calculator, multiply by tangent of 46 plus 40 divided by 60 that we learned from our chapter 1 experience, and we get an h value of 117.5749, and it just keeps going. Now that won't match the answer in the back of the book, because remember, in order to figure out the height of that building, I got to take this number, the h, and add to it the 28 that goes to the ground. And so what is that? If I add 28 to that number, I get exactly what they have in the book, 145.5. They're writing 146 meters. It works just perfectly. And so you just take advantage of what you know, trying to get to what you want to find. So remember what I did first. Identified what I needed to find, what I already knew. Right? So I needed to find this h. How am I going to get to that h? Well, I need another side. I don't have a side. I do have a side to this bottom one. And so we use the bottom one to solve for the common side and then get the other one. Very common approach to use through all of this. So hopefully that was helpful.